I need to just process everything that has happened tonight. Hey, what's up you guys? It's Holly. So today I have a really special video. Well, I wouldn't really call it special, but it makes me really happy. So I don't know if you know, but I am a pretty big fan of Dan and Phil. So you probably don't know because I haven't talked about it, but tonight I went to the TATINOF tour, aka The Amazing Tour is Not on Fire, and it was like one of the best experience. It was just the best experience ever. I don't even know how to talk about it. It was so great because I was VIP meet and greets, so obviously that means I got to meet Dan and Phil, and it was crazy. So I guess I will just start at the beginning. So I've got my flower crown on. This is what I wore. Merch shirt, Converse. They're black in case you couldn't tell. And then I'm just wearing jean shorts, but you know, everyone knows what jean shorts look like. Okay, so before I actually get into the video, I'm going to, go through all the things that I got for, being a VIP guest and the things that came with, well, the things that they gave us after the meet and greets. And if you want to see the meet and greet pictures, they're going to be later on in this video when I actually get through the experience to the actual meet and greet sort of section. So before we get started, I do want to go through all the stuff. So we're going to start with my book. I got my books, I've had this book, I got it the day it came out, but I got it signed by them, which is pretty cool, and I got it signed on the front and the inside of the front cover and the inside of the back cover because I want it to be above their faces, and oh my god, it's just, I'm still a little bit fragile from tonight, so I'll put in like close-up pictures, but there's Dan's signature, and here is Phil's signature. Yeah, you can't really see it. So those are the signatures. So those are the autographs that I got, which is pretty cool. And then we got a tote bag full of stuff. It says The Amazing Tour is Not on Fire, and I actually went outside to see Dan and Phil on tour, which is pretty sweet. Okay, so we're just gonna go through this bag. So the first thing that is in here that's quite obvious is this poster. Oh geez. It's a little bit bent. Cool. And it is just like this. Them in front of the American flag. There might be words on it. Oh, and it's got all their tour dates down here. It's got Dan and Phil in America, which is awesome. So I don't know what I'm doing with this yet. Gotta roll it back up. Next, obviously, they gave everybody a flower crown of their own in case they didn't already have one, which I did have one already, just, cause let's try this one on. I haven't put this on yet. I don't know why. Where's the back? There's a back. There has to be a back. The other one fits better on my head because it was like molded to my head. We'll wear this one for the end of the tote bag and I might switch back. Okay, and the last thing we actually got in the tote bag are these little lanyard things that are super cool. It just says The Amazing Tour is Not on Fire. There's VIP. I don't want to focus. Later I'll do it later. But just as future reference for anybody who's going who has VIP, this is not a bracelet. Do not put it on your wrist and then tighten it on your wrist, because I did that and it was pretty terrible because these are like zip ties. They're supposed to be like lanyards, so once you tighten it, like there's no coming back. Like I couldn't get it off. Me and my friend had to sit there and try to yank it off my hand because I had put it on my wrist thinking it was a bracelet, and I was like, why wouldn't this come off? And then yeah, we had to just get it. I didn't want to cut it, so we just had to wedge it, like just spend a while and just like rip it off my hand. So don't put this on as a bracelet. Bad idea. Pro tip. So those were the last of the things that actually came in the VIP bag. But I got a couple more things. So I did get a paper that I'm not going to show you because it, you know, obviously has my city on it, which I do not want you to know. And by the way, since I just got back tonight, this is being posted on a different day, so you'll never know. You will never know what city I am in, because I'm smart like that. So we got this thing, this paper. It's like, has a fan related saying on it, and we held it up during their last song, and it was pretty cool. And then I got, I went to the merch store on the way in, and I got a t-shirt, a tour t-shirt, which is exactly like the poster, and then it has tour dates on the back, which is pretty sweet. So I really like this. It was pretty great. And then the last thing that I got from the tour was actually something I caught from off stage. Don't get excited, it's not that exciting actually. I love it. Okay. It is a paper plate. I do not want to include any spoilers in this whatsoever because I feel the same way that Dan does about spoilers, and it's very annoying. But let's just say these end up in the audience at some point, and I caught one like in midair while they were flying out, and it says, it's really funny, it says, I went to #TATINOF and all I got was this lousy plate. So I just think that's really funny. I don't know, I think it's hilarious and I love it. Then all I've got left is my Sharpie. R.I.P. flower crown. No. Okay, so those were all of the things that were actually in my bag, and all the things I got from the tour. So now I'm actually going to start talking about my experience and how everything worked out. So I had a rough time getting through school because it was on a school day, and I was just so excited because I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to meet them today. And it was so exciting. So finally, after school, we left around 4 o'clock. It was like 4:05 by the time we actually left. And I just kind of can't decide if I want to wear this flower crown or my other one. So we left around 4:05-ish, and then we got to the theater, and there were people who didn't have meet and greets just kind of sitting in like the area where you walk in. And we're like, okay, what do we do? They're like, are you meet and greet? We're like, yes, we are. So we walk through the metal detector and we get all checked in, and then we go upstairs to where the meet and greet is, and we stood in line. There's about 20 people there, about 20 people who had meet and greets, and so we stood there for about 10-15 minutes waiting for them to come out. And these people come out and they go, in a British accent, Dan and Phil will be here in about 5 minutes. And it was really exciting. It was so exciting. Oh my god. And so that was really exciting. And then, you know, later on, I'm trying not to have a heart attack, but when they walked in and I saw like their heads, I oh my god, I like started tearing up, but it's okay because I didn't cry before. I didn't cry before. I might cry after a little bit, but not before. So I kept it together until later. So then they're like, okay, get everything ready, you know, get everything ready, get your book open to the pages you want signed, and get everything you want signed ready, get your phones ready. So then we get let in through the first little area, and we go to the actual meet and greet like line, and oh my god, I started freaking out because, you know, they had like this big like wallpaper of like meet and greet, like picture background, you know how they have those things so you can't see what other people are doing, but Dan would like step out, and so you could totally have a clear like line of vision to him. You could see him, and he just kept stepping out, and it was crazy because I'm just like, oh my god, they're real. It was crazy to see someone on screen for so many years and then see them in real life. It's a surreal experience, kind of, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but it's weird. And then we were getting to the front, and I told my friend, I was like, okay, because we weren't allowed to videotape anything. I had a plan I had a plan. Because I don't know about your phone, but on my iPhone 6S, you can film a video and take pictures at the same time. So this was my plan. So what I was planning on doing was starting a video and then, you know, just being like, oh, like I'm videoing, just hit the white button for the pictures, and they would have been fine with that because Dan and Phil don't care. It's just all about the security. It's crazy. So I was gonna do that, but I was just freaking out so much. I just forgot to start the video. I was so mad at myself after, but I forgot to start the video, so I didn't get to record it. I didn't get to record anything. And I told my friend to record a voice memo just in case they made me turn off my camera, and she was gonna record it, but her phone stopped recording for some unknown reason. I was so mad that the only thing I got was a picture. I wanted at least some sound, some video, something. I don't know. But I did get a really good picture, and you know, it was great. So we walk in like behind the thing, and they're just like, hi, and I go and I hug Dan, and they're like really awkward when it comes to giving hugs. Like, I don't know if you've seen Dan and Phil's US tour trailer that they made, but they're just really awkward huggers, and I had a Sharpie out with the lid off because I didn't know that they would have Sharpies. I mean, of course they would, but I just wanted to be safe, and Phil was wearing a white shirt. So when I was going to hug Phil, I was like this with my arm because I didn't want to write on his white shirt in Sharpie. So I had to be very careful with that situation. I'd be careful with the Sharpie. And then I guess I forgot like what was happening, and so I hugged Dan and I hugged Phil, and then Dan was like, oh, you know, you have a book, do you want me to sign your book? And I'm like, oh yeah. And I was like, Dan, can you sign above your face? And Phil, can you sign above your face? They're like, yeah, sure, that's great. And then we took a picture, and my friend got her phone case signed, which is pretty cool. Dan complimented my flower crown, this flower crown, because I was wearing this, because we got the flower crowns after, so I know I was one of the only people that had a flower crown, because there was like one other person who had a flower crown, but I was wearing this one, the one that we didn't get. I've had this one. And he's like, oh, I like your flower crown. I was like, oh my god, thanks. And so he was signing my book, and I had like an open Sharpie, and I didn't register what they were doing, that they were signing the book, because I had a Sharpie ready. And then, you know, Phil signs the book, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I had a Sharpie in my hand. He's like, oh, that's okay. You know, he was like that. And then, you know, I was like, so then we took the picture, and I was just like, okay, one last hug. So I hugged Dan and I hugged Phil, and then they were like, bye, enjoy the show. And then we walked off, and then I lost it. I just started crying because I never met someone popular, I guess you could say, that I actually follow. Like, I've met like a couple other famous people, but like I never like had a meet and greet with someone I actually wanted to meet and had followed and like, and it was just so crazy. It was insane. So it was really cool. And they're not as tall as I thought they were gonna be. Like, they're only like 6'2", but they look so tall, like on camera and everywhere else. So I thought they were just gonna be giant. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were tall, because I'm 5'2", so they were tall. They were a foot taller than me, but they weren't as tall as I thought they were gonna be. But it was crazy, and I was so mad at myself that I didn't record, you know, the meet and greet, and it was a sad time. But that was okay. So I will insert the meet and greet pictures here. And in courtesy of my friend, I will not be showing her face, just my face, because I don't know if she wants to be on the internet. So then after we had the meet and greets and I collected myself, we went back to the main room, and we went in the merch line, and that's where I got my t-shirt. So I bought my t-shirt from there, and then we got food because we were starving, because we had to be there at 5:15. We didn't eat dinner, and so we got food, and then we went to, you know, the 7-second challenge corner, and I wrote challenges. And yeah, I wanted to be in the Why I Was a Weird Kid series, but it happened way earlier, and I couldn't find them in time, so Sadly, I didn't get to input anything into that, but I did get to put in some 7-second challenges, even though they didn't make it into the show. But I tried. So after we waited in line for a little bit, the doors opened at 6:45. We went in and we took our seats. We were row 2. So it was perfect because row 1 would have been too close, the stage would come up too far. Row 3 would have been too many people in front of us. Well, not too many, but more than one, and just row 2 was perfect. So that was absolutely, we had perfect seats, and it was great. And so the show went on, the show happened, and yeah, I don't want to give any spoilers away because spoilers, not cool. So the show happened, and then we left and we found my mom upstairs, and then we went through a drive-through McDonald's to get milkshakes because, you know, why not? We wanted to have milkshakes because YOLO. And I don't know if I want to switch my flower. I'm gonna switch my flower crown. So we went through the drive-through, and then you know, in the car I pulled out the zip tie wristband. That's not a wristband, do not wear it. So I put it on and I was like, oh, look at this bracelet, and I zipped it up, and it wasn't like skin tight, but it was pretty darn tight. And then I was like I was like, oh, that's cool. So I was gonna put it back in my bag, and I start pulling on it. I'm like, this isn't coming off. So I look at my friend, I'm like, oh my god, get this off. Like, how do I get it off? And she's yanking on it and it would not come off. And so I'm pulling on it, and it took us about 5 whole minutes to get that off my hand, and it was a challenge. It was definitely a challenge to get that off, so if you go, do not put those on your wrist and tighten them. It's apparently like a lanyard thing. I don't know what it's used for, but it's not used for that, clearly. So don't do that. And then I dropped her off at her house, and I came home, and I told everyone about it. I sent my pictures to everyone, and it was really cool. So yeah, I guess that was my TATINOF, or the Amazing Jordan Not on Fire VIP meet and greet experience. I hope you enjoyed listening to my experience, and I hope that you can get that experience yourself. So thank you for watching this week's video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos. I post new videos every week, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye! And also, one more quick thing, if you do go to meet them and you get a phone case signed, please be very careful with the Sharpie, because treat it like wet paint, because, I mean, not like wet paint, but gently, because it may feel dry, but later on my friend actually did smear her signatures and she had to kind of draw over it, but it doesn't look the same. So just be very careful if you're getting a phone signed or anything slippery that's not paper signed, because Sharpie can smear and it can come off, and I do not want your signature to be ruined, because that would really suck. So if you're going, good luck, and I hope you have a wonderful time, and if you do go, let me know how it goes, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.